these words. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Bring it down hard. Someday, we'll put it together and put it under. Someday.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
I'm good. It's
Yeah.
kind of tempted to sing along with that.
Me too. It's a good song.
Yep, it is a good song.
Mm.
All right. Well, welcome
Child.
to the It's department.
Welcome to the It Dipped.
The It Dep.
The It Dipped cast of pods.
Yes.
Yep, we apologize for missing last week. Tim and I were both unexpectedly gone at like the last minute.
Yeah. And because of that, we aren't able to talk about the big topic that happened.
Yeah.
Ian watched Black Panther.
I was able because what we were planning to do was like watch it
Yeah.
Friday.
And then
And then,
Immediately
as soon as we were done watching it, because last Friday we had the day off
yeah.
for school, so we were gonna go watch the movie,
Yeah.
and then immediately come and record,
Yeah.
so that we had all our thoughts fresh in our minds. Now, it didn't happen that way because, as we said, both of us were
Yeah, I was
gone.
out of town. I had to go out of town. Then Ian did something. I don't know what Ian did.
I wasn't really all that much gone. I was just here at my house, but because Tim wasn't here, I couldn't record an episode.
Then they
with
watched the movie without me.
him. On Monday, because we also had Monday off, because it was President's Day, right?
Yes, President's Day.
I watched Black Panther with the family, to which Tim guilt shamed me with saying that I should have invited him, and I kind of agree, because you were back by then, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I was back on Saturday, and I told you about it. I said, "Hey, I'm back this afternoon. Should we watch Black Panther?" And you said, "Nah, don't worry about it."
That's right. Well, I wasn't expecting the family to watch it on Monday, because usually my dad is the one that suggests,
Yeah.
"Hey, let's go watch this," which is fine. But that's the maintenance side of things for this episode, just to get you caught up
Yeah,
there.
we're on the road
We
crew.
will not be talking about Black Panther today.
We're on the road crew. That's what we're talking about. Us being on the road crew.
Psychonauts, oh dear.
He hasn't even played it. I just got on Steam.
And he just showed me the wonderful road crew.
The road crew's the best part.
Where's your sign? Anyway,
I'm on the road crew. This is my
yeah,
sign.
so we're gonna wait until Tim has seen the movie so we can talk about it.
Yes.
Um,
Probably never though.
he said he was fine with me just talking about it, but I don't want to do that. I would like for him to at least see it before we do that.
So sad.
And that may not be until it comes out on Blu-ray, so that may be a couple months away.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately.
if so, we apologize. Unless you deeply bully Tim into seeing it,
Bully me.
bully him into seeing it like within the next week or something.
Bully me.
That's the way
Actually,
to go.
I don't like to be bullied.
Yeah.
Sad. All right. Let's go to R and
Earned it.
All right. Earned. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Just a little bit of news here. The Mission Impossible Fallout has officially wrapped filming. After they were going to be done a few months earlier, but of course Tom Cruise had his injury while shooting a stunt, and completely dislocated his ankle. That was wonderful. I
Right.
saw a slow-mo shot of that. That did not look like a normal human
Ankle.
position. What happened there? But of course, because he's Tom Cruise, he finished the stunt
Yeah.
and stayed in character. So that was good. He knew immediately it was broken, but he finished the shot. It's pretty. So he's limping off camera, and it's the shot that you actually do see in the film.
Oh, really?
So they kept it.
So we get to see him break his ankle.
Even better than the real thing.
So after 30,000 setups.
13 helicopters, 6 pregnancies.
What?
Probably. Well, one of them is Rebecca Ferguson.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming others are cast crew. I don't know.
Probably.
5 hiatuses, 4 weeks of aerial photography, 3 continents, 2 winters, and 1 broken ankle. It's done. There we go.
done.
So, yeah,
It's done.
looking forward to that. There we go.
We only got one trailer and it just barely came out.
Yeah.
It's Chris Evans.
It's Chris Evans, son.
It's fine.
seemingly confirming the existence of a solo Black Widow movie. But moving on. Tell me what you got.
So, first thing I got is the big rumors from DC as of last week that Zack Snyder was fired.
Mm-hmm.
And Zack Snyder being fired could be a good or a bad thing. What do you think it is, Ian? Microphone.
Oh, he gave me a piece of his keyboard as a microphone.
Yeah, microphone.
From what I had read was as part of those rumors,
Yeah.
because we would like to emphasize that it's not really
Not confirmed.
at this point. It is rumors, and it is the internet as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, people
They did.
have a ball.
There was the rumors earlier this
Yeah.
week that Sylvester Stallone had died. So
Yeah.
yeah,
but
internet's not
from what I had read, part of the reason was for his firing was that his cut for Justice League at that point was, quote, unwatchable.
Oof.
So obviously we'll never know because you know, if you remember after Justice League came out,
Yeah.
and, you know, there was the outcry of people. It's like, give us the Zack Snyder cut of the movie.
Oh yeah.
And like the visual effects team were just like, there is no Zack Snyder cut because we only had enough time to work on the visual effects for the final cut that Joss Whedon had.
Yeah.
But it really makes me sad that those visual effects people are rushed in that way.
Yeah. Nice.
Because the thing about good visual effects is, budget. And Justice League had a budget. They had a large budget.
Very large budget. Too large, in fact.
But the other part of good visual effects is time.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe if they had a little more time, it would look better.
Yeah.
So
I have heard a lot of people that don't dislike Justice League say it was only bad because of Joss Whedon. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm sure that's not the only reason it's bad.
no, I don't think it is. As we've mentioned before, Age of Ultron was not as good as the first Avengers.
Yeah. But he still made the first Avengers.
Exactly. And I like to think that Joss Whedon did a lot of good things to
Yeah.
recover Justice League. But at the same time, maybe there was some stuff from Snyder that was just like, well, you should have kept that in because that fits somewhat. But
yeah, it's a thing I've seen lately, a little trend that like directors that direct the big movies in a cinematic universe kind of think they're in charge of it a bit. Joss Whedon has come out and said himself that Ant-Man's not an Avenger, but this isn't like Kevin Feige or anyone.
Yeah,
This is Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon.
He says Ant-Man will not be an Avenger, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm like, no. He's like a major part of the Avengers
Yeah,
in the comics.
yeah, I respect Joss Whedon for what he did
Yeah.
to, for the first time in film history, bring together a team of superheroes through interconnected films.
Yeah.
And do it like so successfully.
First time.
The first time around, and Age of Ultron kind of struggles a little bit. I
Yeah.
still like old Age of Ultron. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just not quite on the level
Yeah, it's
of
not.
the first Avengers. So, yeah, it is sort of a weird thing, because you could understand why Joss Whedon was brought in
Yeah.
to finish Justice League because they were just like, hey, you did the Avengers, right? And then
Yeah.
bring him in. But at the same time, maybe if they brought in someone else that had no Marvel experience to put together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The other side of that is not many directors out there have that experience in assembling many superheroes
Yeah,
together.
that's true. Zack Snyder tried his little bit of it in Batman vs. Superman, and that kind of went.
Well, I just watched a video this morning talking about why the MCU is successful in the way that does its connectivity.
Yeah.
And, talking about viewpoints where, like, the one thing, like, when you watch the Avengers in the, like, triumphant New York battle, and then you watch Civil War later and you get some of the civilian perspective, how the Battle of New York was actually kind of, like, really scary,
Yeah.
right? So stuff like that, like different viewpoints.
Yeah.
Like in Spider-Man Homecoming, you get to see Tony Stark through Peter Parker's eyes.
Yeah, and Tony Stark is kind of a real big jerk in that movie.
Yeah. Instead of Tony Stark through Tony Stark's eyes.
Yeah, like the first couple Iron Man movies, he's like this great philanthropist who was reformed from a guy who was like a big arms dealer. But in Spider-Man: Homecoming, he's this guy that like wants to kind of control the world. He wants to like.
Well, I didn't pick up on that. What I picked up on was just that is the perspective we're getting from Peter.
Well, like from what I got from that movie was Iron Man's kind of like this big controlling guy who like a lot with the Sokovia Accord as well. Like with him helping create that, he wants to kind of control how the world runs justice, and he's also kind of losing his humanity in the way that he's becoming like this idea.
He's becoming Ultron.
He's becoming more the idea of he's like half robot now. He's like become this pseudo cyborg, where he believes he's a suit, and you see that when he's not even there in the suit, and he's like controlling it, and you see the suit holding his cup and everything, because that's what he's doing, and. It's just kind of something like that.
Cyborg Iron Man?
Yeah, Cyborg Iron Man.
Wait, no, that's a different
wasn't
movie.
Wasn't that the point of Iron Man 3? And, like, from what I've heard, like, he's like, becoming less of Iron Man. Like, less it's suit dependent.
Less suit dependent, yeah, that's a better way to put it. But, like, with that, there was, like, the conversation that Tony and Peter had on the roof.
Yeah.
Where there's lots of things that you as the viewer are aware of.
Yeah.
In, like, backstory and, like, recent events in Tony's own personal life that when he says certain lines, you're just like, oh, man, I feel. But the character Peter does not know all those things, so it's kind of different. So that's the thing that the DCEU struggles with, because Man of Steel did pretty good in retaining, like, this is its own movie. There's not that many Easter eggs in
so
Man of
Wonder
Steel
Woman as well.
Yeah, and there's not even post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman, on the other hand, is just like, let's chock it full of Easter eggs, and we're gonna set up two movies in one. We're gonna set up Wonder Woman and Justice League. So it got ahead of itself.
Suicide Squad was just bad in multiple ways.
Just bad.
Like,
it was just the.
They don't even attempt to set up the characters. They're just there.
The story is not like relevant at all to the characters.
My favorite guy is the guy who can climb anything, who gets his head exploded immediately.
He's actually a good actor too, and then they just got rid of him. He's like, all right then, good for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Another thing with the Suicide Squad being full of Easter eggs, because it is full of Easter eggs, and it's trying to connect itself to other movies. It just fails, and I really hope the DCEU either gets its crap together or just dies. One of those two.
We're running out of We're running out of chances to say get it together at this point.
Also, a couple of other things on Joss Whedon. He has dropped another DC movie. He's not going to be working on Batgirl anymore. There's supposed to be a Batgirl movie, apparently.
How much do you want to bet Justice League performance had something to do with that?
Probably a lot.
Probably
a lot.
Yeah. And then they did hire their new vice president of the DC films after firing their president and their vice president. So, that's
right,
a thing.
Yeah. It was a coup.
All right. Go.
Okay, in Star Wars news, for those of you who don't know, or here's a reminder, J.J. Abrams will be directing Episode 9, the final installment in this new trilogy. Tim. He has said that the script is complete, and they will be ready to shoot in late July.
The only thing that I was kind of optimistic on with this script is he said we'll be referencing the prequels a lot more in this one, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that some fans out there are absolutely pissed about it.
Well, yeah.
Because, they say the word prequel and they, have bad childhood memories or something because they're whiny.
Oh, no.
Then again, we can be whiny on the podcast. So.
Oh, yeah. Want some cheese with your wine?
We. So, yeah, there's a little bit of Star Wars news for you there. He says, we have a script, which is a big deal for me. It starts shooting end of July. Having a script in advance is something I haven't always been lucky enough to have. I'm writing this with Chris Terrio, who is a genius, and I'm having a great time.
Look what Chris Terrio did. Let's see what he's done.
Chris Terrio.
Let's see if he's done anything good.
American...
Oh, nope.
Argo.
Nope. Okay.
Argo.
I haven't seen that one.
Argo's good. And
okay. I was saying nope because looks like
he's
in both Batman vs Superman and Justice League. On
filmography.
He was a writer on Justice League.
He's the executive producer too.
Oh no.
Well, oh dear.
He wrote Batman vs Superman, with David as Goyer, but this is just kind of like, oh no, oh no. This is. He says he's a genius. What is Omniverse?
No idea. Yeah, there you go.
He wrote Omni. What is that movie? I'm very disappointed now with the lack of good writer.
Well, the writing direction sometimes isn't up to them because they're not.
That is true.
They're not directing.
Yeah, that is true. But, you know, it'd still be partly his fault.
Yeah.
Maybe he was the one that wrote the Martha line.
No.
Maybe it was a David S. Goyer.
Well, I don't like. I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. Well, some people may have bad runs at films. Doesn't mean they can't make good ones. If they have the right director in the right direction.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm still not too optimistic now.
Tim, I have a new title for Tim. He is just the non-hopeful, dreary, pessimistic side of the podcast.
No.
Yes, you are.
No. Okay. What else do I doubt? Okay, let's see. Black Panther has the largest like opening weekend, or what was it, for a Marvel movie? It's already made like $282 million in box office.
In a weekend than Justice League did in 13 weeks.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Justice League, like 2 months, hit 600 million.
Yeah.
Which is bad for them. But yeah, Black Panther's making some moolah, and it's getting good reviews. Except if you're a couple people, including Juan, our friend.
Well, Vibranium's, it pays, man.
But you see,
I'm seeing.
but Juan doesn't like it because he's like that guy on Rotten Tomatoes who says there's not enough action.
Well, I talked with Juan
Yeah.
one day for about like half an hour. So like I don't think he doesn't like it. He was just kind of let down.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's not like he doesn't like it. He was just kind of let down with it.
Yeah.
Because he says, he told me there's 15 minutes of action, watching, like drawn out, like dragging out.
Well, the other one that was kind of a letdown for me to cause me to not like Age of Ultron as much was because Age of Ultron had a lot of action all the time. So it's okay. And so I think you need to have a good balance, and maybe Black Panther maybe Black Panther could use just a few more minutes or like one more sequence of action, maybe.
Yeah.
But I would rather have more non-action than action, because if it's just you're constantly being thrown action, it gets kind of tiring.
Yeah,
and the circumstances of the action, the conflict, isn't as appealing anymore because you're just like, well, they've fought at least 5 times in the movie already.
Yeah. Well, I can see with that is a lot of Age. I like action. Like I didn't do it with like good minutes of action and talking. Age of Ultron's action, like you said, is there's a lot of it, and a lot of it is drawn out.
It's
like,
drawn out, and it's cool to watch. Like I won't deny that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is you're not feeling any real drama there.
Yeah. But with like, you think if you think about Thor Ragnarok, there was a lot of action in that movie too.
Yeah.
But the action wasn't boring half the time. It was great to view, and it like knits itself up.
Yeah.
Like just. Like, hey, you want to have a spaceship battle? We'll have a spaceship battle now.
Spaceship battle,
You want to have an arena battle? Have an arena battle now. You want to have a battle with a giant wolf? We'll have a battle with a giant wolf.
Go!
You want to have a battle where one lady kills everyone? Let's have that. Yeah, it's not. It's willing to do lots of action.
All kinds of battles.
Yeah, it's willing to do lots of action, but it's willing to mix itself up. Unlike Age of Ultron, where its version of mixing itself up is like, oh, it's the same fight, but in a boat. Oh, it's the same fight, but in a building. Oh, it's the same fight, but in a city. Oh no, it's the same fight, but in a forest. It's just the same sort of fights, just different locations.
Yeah.
And that's like.
So it's the trick of getting right.
Yeah.
And it's like I've said many times before on the podcast is that Phase 3 has really figured it out.
Yeah.
How to do it. I consider Phase 2 to be the one that's kind of struggles the most in getting that blend of creativity that they got in Phase 1 with trying to get good action as well in the storytelling and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But there we are. Yeah.
All right, Ian.
Well, the last thing I have is, of course, Incredibles 2. Got our new trailer. Stay-at-home dad.
He is a stay-at-home dad now, which I don't know. Are you okay with that?
It took me a little. Well, here's the thing. This is something that the comparison that I always like to make with myself is Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Incredibles 2 is something that people have wanted for more than how many years now?
Look it up.
Yes.
We have a
More. Oh yeah, 2004.
2004.
So we've been waiting this for 14 years.
14 years.
Okay.
Jeez Louise.
So here's what happens.
Yeah.
You give people 14 years to want something. And that is a lot of time for people to really make up an image in their head of
Yeah.
what they want
I
to
know
see.
I have.
Yeah. So when they finally get a glimpse of in a new trailer of what this might be like,
Yeah.
it may disappoint fans.
Yeah.
It caught me a little by surprise. I'm like, I didn't think about it that much, to be perfectly honest with you. I wouldn't mind getting another sequel, but I know that there are lots of other people out there that have been really wanting it.
Yeah.
So it's what I call the Half-Life 3 dilemma, is that you give people more than 10 years to think about something and really want it, and no matter how good it will be, how good it may or may not be,
Yeah.
let's just assume that The Incredibles 2 is like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes when it comes out. Let's just say that Incredibles 2 when it comes out is just like receives just as much praise
As the last
from
one.
critics as the original Incredibles, but people will still be disappointed because they've been given 14 years to hype it.
Yeah. Like with me, I did not expect the direction they're going with it being right after. I expected it to be like in the future, which
Yeah.
I think could have probably worked more for their favor,
Mhm.
because the voice actors for the children are different, and like you could have like given a lot more confidence. Like there's a big old theory that Jack would be the villain, which I didn't care for.
No.
Yeah, I didn't really care
No.
for that. But I thought if you want to keep the same voice actors and keep it consistent, make it in the future. Make the characters a bit older. Make it a bit different. But I think what they're going through right now is probably the best direction.
Yeah. And I trust Brad Bird
Yeah.
because he made Iron Giant.
Yeah.
And, obviously the first Incredibles and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And he had never done like a live action movie like that before, and it was great. So I have great confidence.
Was that the fourth one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
The
the
one
fourth
in
one was
in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, where he
With the tall
throws the
building.
thing off
The tall building. Yes.
Yeah, tall building. Palm tree building.
So I have good palm tree.
That's what it is.
Sandstorm. So I have good confidence in him.
Yeah.
I really do, and I think that what they're doing by that, having the underminer thing at the beginning, like
Yeah.
continuing right where the first left off is, you could call it the safe approach,
Yeah.
that they don't want to do anything, because as you said, maybe going into the future would have worked in their favor,
Yeah.
but continuing right where they left off maybe is the safer approach, not to take that many risks.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, you have to take risks in storytelling if you want to make something good, or else you're just retreading the same
Yeah, that's
steps.
why I don't like the Force Awakens that much. Not enough
Yeah.
risk taken for me.
Yeah, it needs more risk taking.
Yeah, it's just Force Awakens is just a fan service. This movie.
Again,
Yeah.
it's about achieving the balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all, if you can tell a good story that takes enough risks, but not too many that you're just like, whoa, where is this going? Why is it doing this?
Yeah.
That you can be taken by surprise, but not be, well, we'll say disgusted. That's not the best word choice, but
So, did you know Pixar is going more towards sequels rather than original films now?
this is something that I've heard from some people,
Yeah.
like just mentioned to me. I haven't
Yeah.
really talked about
We
it.
can look at Wikipedia, see their new film lineup. Internet again!
It's an amazing, wonderful thing. It's our movie lineup.
Yeah, just go on Wikipedia because it'll list of Pixar films.
Here are the next Pixar movies after Coco.
See Toy Story 4. Of course, we're doing that. Turtles 2. Toy Story 4. Suburban Fantasy. There's gotta be more. I know there's
Oh,
more.
here's a little quiz. Just real fast, sidetrack here, people.
Yeah.
Which composer won 2 Oscars and was nominated for scoring 6 Pixar films?
Randy Newman.
Randy Newman?
Yeah,
Wanna go
it's
Randy
the
Newman?
first one.
I don't know. That's the only thing I'm gonna do. Actually, no. Which film director does Incredibles composer Michael Giacchino frequently collaborate on projects with?
J.J.
It's JJ. That's right. Next. The Incredibles return to the big screen with a sequel coming to theaters in June 20. No, that's not a quiz. Wait, is it? Oh, I'll heart. Yes, I'll heart. Whoa, it's 94% to 6%. Only 6% of people's hearts are broken. Are you seeing Incredibles 2 in theaters?
Hot or not?
Hot. We are seeing that.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Not seeing it.
Thanks for reading.
Not seeing it.
Oh, I
Share
am
it with
seeing
your
That's-
friends.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's Incredibles
Are we
2.
recording?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, we're
recording.
recording.
Oh, I'm not here then.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
You didn't hear me.
Bye.
No, go back to
Anyway,
the Wikipedia.
But there we go. Yeah, we'll go for
Just-
more a better look. Well, that's what we
Oh,
got.
really?
That's all we got right now.
So they got 3 untitled films to come out,
Mhm.
but the only 2 that have been named
Yeah.
are Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 4. Which Toy Story 4?
Well, one of the things that I've heard is when it comes to like sequels,
Yeah.
is that one of the reasons people very much liked Inside Out
Yeah.
was because it was that original Pixar concept
Yeah.
that people have grown to love. Kind
Well,
of deal. Yeah.
There has been a lot of original Pixar movies lately. Like,
It's actually true. Like I feel like when do you think this conversation came up of people saying that Pixar is focusing more on sequels?
I'm not sure because
I want to say, I don't know.
probably like 2010 is like when they first started going into sequels more because you got Toy Story 3 2010, Cars 2 2011, Monsters University 2013,
So more frequent sequels.
Finding
or-
Dory 2016, Cars
Yeah.
3, then we're doing Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, which Toy Story 3 was alright, I guess.
I think it was a good ending.
Yeah, it could have
To
it
the,
could have ended
the story.
right there.
Yeah, I mean,
A sequel might just ruin it though. See, their worst rated movie is Cars 2 still. And then next after that's Cars. No, next after that's Cars 3. And then Cars. And then Brave?
Do you like Cars, Tim?
The original like is alright, I guess.
Just wanted to get because like I remember liking the movie when I
Yeah.
was young and it first came out. At least I still haven't seen the third Cars.
Yeah, I don't plan to. Did you watch the Dinosaur?
No.
It was alright.
Oh.
There's like one scene from the movie that like sits with me. Like The Good Dinosaur evidently was not the best Pixar film to ever be made. The scenery was great. The characters like looked alright. The characters themselves were alright. They weren't like something to praise them about, but they were alright. But the thing about like the dinosaurs, there's one scene that sticks in my mind is there's a big storm because like storms happen every 3 minutes in that movie. There's a giant storm every 3 minutes for some reason. And so after one storm, the dinosaur's looking for his like pet human. It's pretty much his pet dog.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where's my pet human?" And a pterodactyl comes down. He's like, "Oh, we save animals from the
Storks.
we save animals from all the rubbish." And they're like going through all the rubbish of the storm. And he pulls out like a raccoon. It's like the pterodactyl's like, "You've been saved," and he like throws it down his neck.
Aw.
And then you see the tail like hanging out of his beak as it slides down.
Aw.
And then another pterodactyl grabs it and pulls on it, and it like causes like a big old fight.
I feel like they watched Jurassic World when they were animating that scene.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, actually, before we end R&D here, unless you have something else.
I have one more thing.
Okay. Before we end our Pixar talk, I'm just
Yeah.
asking, what is your favorite Pixar movie?
Bud's Life or Monsters Inc.
Except for Monsters Inc.
How about you?
For me, it would either be Incredibles or Monsters Inc. Yeah.
Pretty good movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
John Goodman's in one of them.
hey, there you go.
I like Monster University too. Monster University was
Yeah.
pretty good. Like some people don't like it, but I'm like, that's a good prequel. Even though like some things weren't like the best, it was still pretty.
As unnecessary goes, it was not all that necessary.
Yeah, it
but,
was not necessary
yeah.
at all.
And of course, it's not on the level of the first
Yeah,
Monsters
no,
Inc. So, and I wasn't expecting it to be. So
Yeah.
I wasn't that disappointed when I watched it because I'm just like, well, as long as I'm not walking in here expecting something like this, then you're fine.
Yeah. It switches the characters from the main character being Sully to the main character being Mike.
Yeah.
Which I was okay with because Mike's pretty good. Got the one
He's a
that-
chill guy.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
he?
it's pretty cool. All right, so the last thing I'm going to bring up before I want to bring out the sales department real quick.
The sales department.
Yeah, they talked about my
boy.
story
Yeah.
that I want to tell you. Basically, the last thing is Jurassic World 3 has been announced already. Already has a date to be in theaters, and it's only like 4 months until the next movie comes out. Like Universal's that confident in it.
Wow.
Because Jurassic World 1, I'll just call it Jurassic World 1 for now, made a lot of money really quickly.
It's within the top 10 highest grossing movies of
Yeah.
all time. Yeah.
And Jurassic Park, the first one, for like 10 years was the highest grossing movie of all time. Almost made $1 billion in 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty big.
Well, it was such a revolution
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
film industry. It was just like, oh
was
my
great.
gosh.
Oh yeah, it's great. Favorite movie right there. All right, so
Your favorite movie of
my
all
favorite
time?
movie, yeah, favorite movie.
That's actually understandable. It's
Yeah.
only because of Jeff Goldblum, right?
So you two,
It's okay to say
did you have drafts?
Jurassic Park. Moving on.
So sales department. Did you?
Tim's going to introduce a new thing here.
Oh, we've had,
I was not told about this.
we've had this before, like once, a
Oh,
couple of podcasts ago.
okay.
But did you buy anything during the Steam sale last week?
The Steam Stales?
The Steam sales.
I just purchased the orange box.
Oh yeah,
myself,
I saw
and-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
I actually bought 3 things and refunded 2 of them. I bought a DLC for Ian's favorite game of all time, Hearts of Iron 4. It was
I
called
think you meant Tim's favorite game of all time.
Ian's favorite game. And I bought the DLC, and then I played it and like, this doesn't do anything that mods can't do, so I refunded it.
Oh.
And then I went out of town, so it was offline, and the DLC was still installed. So I had uninstalled it because I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So it was just still there. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I guess that's fine. And then I played again online, and the DLC was still there. But the DLC didn't go away.
But you got a refund.
Yeah, refund.
Oh, fascinating.
And then I bought Victoria 2, which is basically Hearts of Iron 4, but Victoria times where you can set up colonies and such.
Oh,
But-
imperialism, yeah.
Yeah, imperialism. You can go through the American Civil War, but then I tried to play it. I'm like, I don't understand any of this.
So you refunded it.
Yeah, I refunded it. And I bought Psychonauts, and Psychonauts is pretty fun. It's a cult classic. I'm like, okay, I've heard this is a good game.
I'm gonna
There's
see
this-
Tim like 10 years from now being a member of the road crew
the Road Crew.
at like a Comic-Con or
Yeah. We are the Road Crew. See our signs.
You know, if we ever get a chance to go to a Comic-Con, you should actually dress up as one of the
Yeah,
road
just-
crew. I just now, like, let's see, we are, what, 33 minutes in, basically?
Yeah, basically.
Tim showed me the road crew and this game. I had seen, like, bits and pieces of, like, the main character before. Just like the model.
Rasputin.
But, yeah, until half an hour ago, I had never seen the road crew.
Yeah.
But I still highly encourage Tim to do that if we ever
Yeah.
get a chance to go to a Comic-Con.
I say for next ID department plays, we either play this game or something else that's on your computer.
No, I think we can play that game.
Yeah. We'll start a new save file for you to experience it the first time.
Yes.
And hopefully we won't go through the beginning cutscene because it's just all the Psychonauts yelling at the kids at the summer camp, telling them the biggest place for war to happen is the mind. And then
Yeah.
Rasputin comes in. They all try to break into his mind, it's resisting, and then he falls out of a tree.
Oh, okay. There we go. Welcome to the game.
Yeah, welcome to the game, and then
We've arrived.
yeah. That game has okay control. I'd be a lot better if I had a controller, but I don't have a controller.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, all right. So ready for the mandatory meeting?
Mandatory meeting.
Mandatory meeting. All right.
We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy today, and we just came up with this when Tim got here to record.
Yeah.
Because like we said at the very beginning, he has not seen Black Panther. So I was thinking, so what could we talk about? So my mind was on Marvel, and I was like, well, we've both seen both of the
Maybe February has to be Marvel month.
Guardians, I guess so. Both of the Guardians installments. So that's what we did. We would of course like to say that this is not going to become a Marvel themed podcast.
Yeah, no.
Next week we will do something else, but this was
Unless we watch Black Panther.
unless he watches Black Panther, in which case it will be. But yeah, this was spur of the moment, and I know that we can easily talk about Guardians of the Galaxy without having to worry about time. So yeah, here we go.
You know who could be in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
Who's that?
Beta Ray Bill. You don't remember?
Yeah, actually, no. I remember you
Yeah.
telling me
If the
this.
viewers don't remember, or whoever listens
Our
to this,
very first episode.
the very first episode about Thor Ragnarok, I ranted about Beta Ray Bill not being in it, and then I cried.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have a chance.
Yeah, I have a
in,
chance.
In Volume 3.
Yeah. And did you see in the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which used to be the Tower of Terror in
Yes.
Disneyland? It's a collector's thing now.
Mhm.
In one of his collector thing, he has Stormbreaker, or whatever
Mhm.
Beta Ray Bill's hammer's called, like
Yeah.
in a case. It also has Namor's thing from, you know who Namor is?
Yes.
The first Marvel hero, who's basically just Aquaman, but with wing feet.
Yep.
Wings on his feet.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, Beta Ray.
I had to recall my mind back to that, like, Avengers Encyclopedia
yeah,
thing. But there you go. Lucky to have it.
yeah. Did you go on that ride when you went to Disneyland?
No, when I was at Disneyland, for viewers, I was in Disneyland as part of a band,
He's a band.
like, performing arts trip
Yeah.
back in April of 2016. I was there when it was being constructed.
Oh.
So, and I think that it looked pretty much done to me as well, to be perfectly honest with you, because like it's in it's in the California Adventure part of the park, but I was there. So it's obviously, Tower of Terror was, and there was sort of an inside joke to some of the band members that they would, like, as much as possible, talk about Tower of Terror and like shame everybody else, and they would just we would just be talking about rides, and then they'd come in and be like, "But they closed Tower of Terror," this kind of thing. So like at any random interval while we were at the park. Anyway, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember walking by it a few times on my way to do other things, and just looking at it and being like, "It's like I've never actually been in Tower of Terror. I wonder what that was like." And I'm assuming it's not that much different. It's just Guardians themed, but
basically, yeah, it's just Guardians theme.
but yeah, it looked pretty done to me.
And it plays 70s music.
Yeah, and they had like banners on like the fence outside,
banners?
saying Guardians of the Galaxy.
Bruce
break.
Banners?
No.
Bruce Banners?
No.
Darn it.
Bruce Wayne's.
Uh,
Yeah, but they had Bruce banners on the outside labeled Guardians of the Galaxy Breakout. So yeah, I was not able to do that, but I remember seeing it.
yeah.
There you go.
It was like, I heard the news that it was like completely filled to the brim the first day.
I would assume as much.
Yeah.
When did it open? I would assume close to
June.
Volume 2.
It opened around June,
So about a month after.
about a month after.
Okay.
Yeah. Give people
Yeah.
the chance to see it because
Yeah.
it had Baby Groot in it, and Groot is a teenager in Infinity War.
Yep.
So that's the thing. Yeah. So
Bleeding Edge Iron Man armor.
is that what he has?
Well, it looks like it, but we're not talking about that right now.
yeah.
We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
We are talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. Pause the podcast not really, but
No.
we're gonna have a lot of Marvel themed podcasts this year.
We are because
Because Black Panther, Marvel turned 10, Infinity War.
that's right.
We're talking about Guardians right now, and then Ant-Man and Wasp comes out, and we'll probably have to have Brady over for the guest host
So yeah,
because he loves Ant-Man. That was his favorite.
there we go. Yeah, that would be good.
And because he doesn't like superhero movies that much, but he still went to saw Black Panther, which I was kind of surprised about, and he loved it.
Has he seen all of the MCU?
No, he hasn't. He doesn't really like. He kind of got tired of superhero movies because superhero movies is kind of their own genre now.
It is.
Yeah,
That is fair to say. Just the amount
He was kind of
doesn't mean the movies are
bad. No.
are bad per
He
se.
just got
It's
oversaturated.
just there's a lot.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Anyway, Tim, do you remember watching Guardians of the Galaxy?
I remember going to it on my brother's birthday, the first one,
Mhm.
because he was so excited for it because he liked the plant. That's what we knew him as.
Before we knew it was Groot.
Before we knew it was Groot, and then we went and like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Well, I still remember because it's 2014,
Yeah, 2014.
and I didn't. There were two Marvel movies that came out in 2014. There was Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I did not watch either of. I did not watch. Sorry, let me restart. I did not watch Winter Soldier in theaters when it
Yeah.
came out. which I don't know why, because I really like Winter Soldier right now. It's like in the top 5 of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah, Winter Soldier's pretty good.
But I didn't see it that year. And I remember seeing the first trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember like seeing it on YouTube one day, like Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel, and I'm like, what? What is this? And I, looked at the trailer, and this is before me and a lot of people knew anything, because I'd never seen Parks and Rec.
Oh,
So I didn't know who Chris Pratt was.
Chris Pratt's the best though.
So I know, but at the time I did not know.
Yeah.
So I watched the trailer and I'm just like, this is weird and like kind of goofy, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. It seems so not Marvel, but that is as far as I was familiar with Marvel.
Yeah.
So, but I remember going to see it in theaters and then walking out just like, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. It's like, why was I ever worried about this movie? That was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy was great first viewing. Like
Yeah.
the action, the music.
It's just an entirely new experience. It
Yeah.
had that nuance to it that you're just like taken aback.
Yeah. And the fact is, no one knew anything about the MCU
No.
unless you were like a nerd.
Yeah.
And no one knew anything about Marvel, like Space Marvel especially.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
the extent of it was Thor.
Thor.
For stuff he would sometimes do
Yeah.
in other
But people
places.
at the time to understand Thor's. They're like, Thor's a god, because actually he in the Marvel universe he's an alien
Mhm.
with advanced technology who just happens to look like a human.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the extent, but he got worshipped for something.
Worship.
And then in the comments, the comics, not the comments,
Yeah.
in the comment below,
The comment section.
in the comics, he opens up the Church of Thor,
That's right.
yeah, and tries to get people to worship him.
Worship my
Thor.
blonde muscular physique.
Yeah, worship Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Worship Ian.
But yeah, I remember. No,
Do it.
I don't need that. No, please don't. When you're sitting in the theater and then it's the cave dance scene at the very beginning,
Yeah,
because you're introduced to the very beginning of the movie to like a very heartbreaking scene. It's like, oh well, we're getting right into this. The
Yeah.
mom is dead,
And he was kidnapped.
and then kidnapped by aliens. And then you skip to like this very dark, rainy planet.
yeah,
And this guy clad in a mask in a red leather trench coat, which looks really cool, by the
It
way.
does.
That's like one of my favorite movie outfits ever. Not just superhero, like movie outfits. If you have a trench coat, you have a good start. But anyway,
Diet red.
and then the mask comes off. You see Chris Pratt, and then he puts on headphones and turns on a Walkman, and then starts dancing in a cave, and you're just like, I love this.
Yeah, it was really. good.
It's weird because usually sometimes when movies set within like a certain trend of things,
Yeah,
if a movie was set in a universe or if it was a certain genre, and then it did that, you'd just be like, why is it doing that? But for some reason, like you just can't quite describe it. When that happened in Guardians of the Galaxy, you were just like, I love this. It was like,
Yeah.
I can't possibly hate this. And then like as soon as like the chorus really comes in,
yeah,
hey, hey, and then the big logo flashes on the screen.
Yeah.
Big, huge letters on the screen, as if you're supposed to know what it is. And
Yeah.
or no, they know you don't know what it is, but they're just like,
Here's
"This
what
is
I-
our movie, Guardians of the Galaxy."
Yeah,
And it was great. And it was something that I think you had said before in a previous episode, that Guardians of the Galaxy was successful also because of the fact that it set up a team in one movie.
yeah. It didn't mess around, which it did the thing DC couldn't do with setting up a team.
Now, of course, the other side of that is
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy have always been a team, really.
Yeah.
Like, there's never been Star-Lord or Gamora
Yeah.
comics individually. It's always just
The only
been
like people that done individual comments is Rocket, and I think
Yeah.
Star-Lord may have gone a couple.
maybe a few.
Yeah,
But still, that's an achievement. Like, you've already had this universe set up. Like, so you've gotten used to the world of the Avengers.
yeah,
And then in comes this, 70s neon space adventure,
which is great.
which is absolutely fantastic.
I mean, who doesn't want neon 70s.
And like, I can only imagine that the Walkman,
Yeah.
because that's an original Sony Walkman. I would imagine they were pretty high in price on eBay.
Yeah.
But then Guardians came on, and like everybody was wanting one of those. So the people who owned them were just like, "Oh, I'm going to charge $5,000 for this now because I know people are going to pay for it."
Yep. Yeah. The movie is so great with the design, the colors, the characters.
Yeah.
Like the way the characters act is just great. You can, like, there's something so like natural about them. Like Drax, like you don't know anything about Drax when you first see him.
But the thing about Guardians is just not just the first scene, but really the entire movie. It's just one of those things where you can't really describe why you love it so much, and
Oh, no,
or
you can't.
why you enjoyed it as much as you did. You
Yeah.
just did.
Guardians was the first funny Marvel movie, really.
Mhm.
Ant-Man was the next. Ant-Man, I would like to say, is about or as funny
Yeah,
as Guardians.
because Marvel has always been good about humor,
Yeah,
and but it's been more of like the subtle
yeah,
kind of stuff. But Guardians is the first time that it's like produced laughter
yeah.
in the theater like more than one or two times. Because the closest you got to that was like Tony Stark's snarky remarks in like any of the Iron Man movies,
Yeah.
which is fine because that fits RDJ's personality, that fits the character of Tony Stark.
Or the We Have a Hulk, Tom, or the Benny the Hulk.
Yeah. That's just Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But now you're getting a look at the kind of Chris Pratt dorky humor that,
Yeah.
that he can deliver, and then
The whole-
the stuff that Bradley Cooper brings to
Rocket, yeah.
and especially kudos to the two performances of Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel. Even if Vin Diesel
Yeah.
only said Groot, I still admire the performance he
You know,
gave.
Vin Diesel said, I am Groot in 5 different
Yeah,
languages.
and he recorded it in different languages as well.
Yeah.
Because we all know how weird it is. Maybe like to watch a dubbed version of a movie, and you'd just be like, that doesn't sound like the original actor's voice at all.
The V.
But
The Vin Diesel.
and it's fun to be able to do that. It's like, well, here you go. He's like, you
Yeah.
can record this in different languages because you say one line.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he already spoke Spanish and German.
Mm-hmm.
So, with Spanish, he could have only done 2 words because it still would have made sense.
Mhm.
But I guess he did the yo soy Groot because
Yeah.
that puts emphasis on the I.
Yeah,
'Cause you
and,
just say-
and in Spanish you do use yo to put emphasis when you
Yeah.
want to say I.
Yeah, because with Groot, he does say I am Groot,
Mhm.
not just I'm Groot.
Because if you said soy Groot, it'd just be saying I'm Groot
Yeah, I'm
instead
Groot.
of I am.
Yeah.
So, I am Groot. Groot is the Senate. But also Bradley Cooper, because I remember seeing Bradley Cooper on like the poster,
Mhm.
like going into it. I'm just like, so who's like is he playing like the raccoon thing? And I'm just like, oh okay, this is gonna be weird.
He's not.
You watch the movie, it's not weird at all.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things. Like
Yeah.
if I did not know it was Bradley Cooper, I would have just been like, holy crap.
Because I put a turd in it. Not if you put your turd in my pillow,
If you put your turd in my bit.
I shave you.
Especially in Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Because in the first Guardians, you can still pick up a little bit of Bradley Cooper's original voice.
Yeah.
Like especially in like the prison
Yeah.
stuff when he's talking with the people at the table before Groot, grabs the thing and they have to
Yeah.
act fast. You can pick up on Bradley Cooper's original voice, but especially in Guardians 2, like there's like no trace at all. Like he has fully developed this
Yeah.
voice for Rocket.
Yeah, this raspy
Yeah.
voice. Speaking of raspy voices, did you know the voice of E.T. was like a woman that had to smoke a pack of cigarettes, 2 packs of cigarettes a day to get the voice?
Yes.
Movies in the 70s, man, they were dedication.
Spielberg, man.
Spielberg, The Shining, the one lady, the wife
Mhm.
of Johnny, or whatever his name
Yeah.
is, Jack,
Mhm.
the wife of Jack. The director made her horribly terrified of birds. He did her,
Oh.
he released birds at her, constantly, till she had a horrible fear of birds. She would have PTSD from birds.
Oh no.
So yeah,
There we
I'm
go.
glad we're out of that.
Anyway.
Speaking of 70s things, back to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so
Best-
the music.
The music's great. I will say this though, the music in number 2 I like more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seems much more of a complete.
Yeah, they got
Tells more of a story than.
like with
Yeah.
if you realize something, which I realized, the Ain't No Mountain High Enough is on Awesome It's Volume 2. And what's the one song?
So is Want You Back.
No, it's not. Oh, it might have been. It might have been.
It probably would be, but
It might have been.
I'm assuming special.
It might have been. It might have been. You never know.
But we know that at least Ain't No Mountain High.
Yeah, and
Enough is,
and but then the one song that Rocket plays has Yondu play when they're in Volume 2.
is actually
in Volume 1 because
Because-
he's
yeah.
asking, do you have any old recordings of Finn's? his music. It's Finn, right? No, it's not Finn. What am I thinking?
Quill.
Quill. I say Finn.
Peter Quill.
Peter. Finn. Peter Quill.
We're real quick. Speaking of Yondu,
Yeah.
weren't you the one that mentioned to me that like little scene in Thor Ragnarok?
What scene?
There's a deleted scene in Thor Ragnarok where Hela is in Asgard
Yeah.
talking to the people, right?
Yeah.
Yondu shows up, randomly looking for Kevin Feige. It doesn't say Feige, but like he shows up in like his full Guardians outfit and like sunglasses and be like, "Hey, where's?" I haven't actually watched it, but that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Makes sense why they cut it because that would be a little bit too far with the humor. Because that's just kind of
Also, Yondu's dead.
also he's dead.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not. I guess I should say it's not a deleted scene. It's just something that they did.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that they're filming in the same studio,
Probably.
so they were just able to bring him in just real quick. out
Jeff
there.
Goldblum was on set for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at least once because he was in the credits.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they probably filmed at the same time. Thought let's just Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Because Thor Ragnarok is basically Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but with Thor.
yeah. So I should say it's not a deleted scene, but more of just like a fun thing they decided to do on set one day.
to watch that wall after we finish. You'll have to show
Yeah,
me.
we're definitely gonna have to watch that.
All right.
Well, okay, a lot of things that I'd heard from some is that they'd really liked Yondu in the second one,
Yondu was great.
and what I thought was like I thought the character was great in the first one, so seeing the second one he was even better.
Yeah.
Because that was just different. Blue dude with a flying arrow
Yeah.
that moves via whistling. It's like this is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's the thing that you set up the universe so that even if something happens in the universe that like if you saw a blue dude with a neon mohawk
Mhm.
with a flying arrow that moves by whistling in like the Avengers realm of things, you'd just be like, what
What?
dumb thing is this?
Yeah.
But in Guardians of the Galaxy, you're just
works.
like, this is perfect.
Yeah, like it opens up with him being chased by like
Mm.
weird masked guys and a guy that's like half cyborg on a planet with like little weird rat things.
And the other thing is like Star-Lord. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with how they set up in like the first 15 minutes when you first see Yondu, you're like, yeah, this is fine.
And the Star-Lord ship, the Milano,
Yeah.
is named after an actress.
It was supposed to be his childhood crush
Yeah.
from Earth.
It's little things like that like it fits within the characters. Like he would do that. And I heard that the Milano was like based off of they were designing it after like it was a spaceship muscle car in terms of sound design.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's like especially during the first sequence when he's escaping,
Yeah.
you listen to the sound of the ship in some places. It's just like it sounds like a V8 engine or something like a muscle car.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
All right.
Very
so
cool.
we're close to the hour. Getting close to the hour mark. Let's do a quick little countdown of some stuff.
Countdown stuff.
All right.
Here we go.
Top 2 Guardians movies. Ian, go.
I would put the first one and then the second one,
I'd have to do the second one
Yeah.
and the first one.
Yeah.
I like the second one better.
but they are for me basically on the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Who was your top 3 favorite Guardians?
Star-Lord. And then I'll say Rocket.
Mhm.
Does Yondu count?
Yeah, I can see Yondu counts.
Okay. Because I want to put him in there, but at the same time, Drax is very funny.
What about Groot?
See, Groot is like that strange exception where like you just love him and
Yeah.
like you can't possibly rank him. But maybe that just goes for Baby Groot more than actual. You know?
Well, it was kind of weird when we watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and went back and watched 1
Mhm.
and how different the Groots were. But yet, still the same.
I remember
Like, they acted the same way, but like they
Yeah.
talked and like had the same sort of personality. But sometimes they act this different ways because one's a baby, pretty much.
Well, I remember watching special features for Volume 2,
Yeah.
and one of the things that James Gunn said was one of the things he wanted to do better from the first one was that in the first one, the actors would forget that Groot was there, that he was in the scene.
Yeah.
It really works in the movie. Like, you don't really detect that when you're watching the movie, but on set sometimes, like, it was like, oh yeah, Groot's in the scene. So, it's very much better in the second one, the amount of interaction.
Yeah.
More interaction the characters have with Groot.
I like that.
And they would bring, like, a little styrofoam model
Yeah.
for the actors to look at, like full scale. Like, this is the scale model of what, you know, his CG counterpart is going to be, so it's like, so you can look at him.
Yeah.
Because in the first Guardians, like, it was just like the head sculpt
Yeah.
on a stick. It's like, so look at the head sculpt, and it wasn't. I don't think it was even painted. To be honest, it was just the head sculpt, like just like the white styrofoam.
Yeah.
But they had like a fully painted little
Yeah.
Baby Groot thing for people to look at.
Out
in
of
the
my
second
way,
one.
smaller, dumber Groot.
Smaller, dumber Groot.
And just started speeding, kicking him. Alright, so my top 3 favorite Guardians would probably be Drax,
Mhm.
Groot, and then Star-Lord, with Yondu close on 4th.
Mhm.
Alright, Ian, who's your favorite villain in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe? Let's do top 3, with the 3 being Ego, Ronan. It's not Ronan, that's the
Ronan.
Ronan. I'm forgetting all the names.
Yes.
And Thanos. Thanos is sort of a villain.
I'm not going to count Thanos because I'm
Alright, Nebula
I'm
then.
saving him for
Nebula for Guardians 1.
I guess.
Nebula for Guardians 1.
Ego.
Ego best.
Mhm.
Or we can also, if top 3, but 4th option, the gold lady from the second one. The head mistress.
That's right.
The gold lady
Oh, that's
somewhat matters.
the sovereign. Oh, that
It's the entirety
that
of
was
the
a
sound.
fun.
The arcade.
That's such a stupid part, but you loved it.
Like how they like barely like move any of their body except their eyes half the time.
And the friggin', and then, you know, when they're fleet of spaceships, it's just like an arcade
Yeah.
place. It's, oh dear.
Alright. Top
As you,
3.
as you can tell, we love this movie.
Top 3 go. Top 3 go.
Ego. Ronan, and then the Sovereign.
Ooh, I'm being phone called.
Phone call.
That's not my mother, so I'll ignore it.
Too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Alright, so
What about you?
I'd probably go Ego, Ronan, and Nebula. I like Nebula in the first one better.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, I'm not sure if people on this podcast are aware that I probably mentioned that you're getting called again.
I am getting called. It's the same person, I bet. I just hit ignore.
Do you want me to pause this
Oh, no,
the
no.
episode at the very end here?
This is someone that wants to hang out with me today. I know because they call me each time they want to do something,
Mhm.
but I have a date tonight, so I won't be able to.
Gosh, guys, Tim has a date.
Oh my gosh.
As much as you wouldn't expect it of either of us, because you know we have a podcast and everything,
Podcast is the.
and we talk about how much we like Guardians of the Galaxy. So.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Voice cracks.
All right. So,
Actually, you know, never mind. I shouldn't say that because I know there are lots of awesome girls out there that also like Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel.
but we're also huge.
Does your date like?
Sure.
You should ask. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Like-
You were gonna say.
Like, just to push up a. Hey, look at this. This is our podcast. You should listen to it.
This is a free endorsement. This is a non-paid endorsement from a host of the podcast
Yeah.
to you.
Look at me. I'm famous.
But
We
as
got
you're
70
gonna say.
I think that's about it for me and Guardians of the Galaxy. I have nothing else to rank for you.
Oh,
Else to rank.
Well, no, I was just gonna mention, like I probably said it before, but me being a band person, our marching show this year was Guardians. I think I had mentioned it
Probably.
in the Groundhog Day episode when we were doing the scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Or something, and I probably mentioned it like towards one of our very first episodes sometime. So yeah, I have a even more personal connection to those movies because our marching show at our high school was Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was a drum major, and I got to dress up as Star-Lord, and I have the leather jacket, and I'm very proud of it, and it's cool, and it's awesome, and I have an actual working Walkman. Okay, I'm done bragging.
Okay.
But that's how much I like those movies.
Do you have anything for HR department then? We'll put the mandatory meeting. Anything for HR?
Nope.
All right.
We're good.
I got nothing. I did comment saying "Love me, Kale" on the last video. He did not respond.
I don't expect him to.
All right, so let's just leave a message saying please comment if it's on YouTube or send us an email if you're via our website.
So your goal, Tim,
Yeah.
is this: ask your date if she has seen any Marvel movies or has seen at least Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Even if it's just one of them. Okay.
Okay.
Then what you have to do
Okay.
is you got to pull a Star-Lord on her and be like, pull up the song. What's the song that he plays Gamora
Kevin Bacon.
in the? Well, that's the story. That's the story he tells.
Who put the stitches in their butts? That's very rude.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. I believe.
Oh, what was the name of the track?
Awesome, it's Volume 1.
It was
Fooled Around and Fell in Love. By Elvin Bishop. That's what you got to play.
Should I bring a Walkman? Just take your
Yeah, you want me to donate? I have the tape.
You have the tape.
I actually have a friend of mine had mixed, awesome mix for me during the marching season. That was very cool of him.
Was it Cameron?
No, it was not Cameron.
Cameron.
It was a different person. But like he has awesome mix volume 1. Except there's one problem with it.
Yeah.
I can't remember which song, but like when he was mixing it, like his program said it was the song, but it's actually Staying Alive.
That's great.
I can't remember which one though. But anyway, yeah, I will let you borrow. Staying Alive. Let you borrow my Walkman. With my actually I don't even think the headphones work.
Oh, probably
I
not.
spray painted the pads orange just to make it look a little.
Oh, they probably
better.
don't.
But they did work for a while. They were already very crappy, but I don't think they work at all anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
But there you go. You have to pull a Star-Lord on her. You gotta
then
pull her. You gotta pull her aside. Okay. You gotta pull her close, and then you gotta be like, and then you gotta tell her the story.
Footloose.
There's a story back on Earth. It's called Footloose.
It should be like
A great hero named Kevin Bacon.
sit the whole town with people who had stits at their butts.
The dancing. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Put the stits at their butts.
Put the sticks up their butts.
And then like it threaten with a knife.
Yes. And you gotta be like, what's that? And then you gotta run back into the casino and stop Drax and Rocket from fighting. But
Oh shoot.
yeah,
Nice socks there, Ian.
yeah, great socks. They're not.
My
themed.
socks are better.
They are what BB-8 socks though.
Yeah. That's part
But
of that movie.
there you go, Tim. To close this out, I'm gonna sing for you. But no, wait.
Ian, sing for
Feel
us.
free to cut me off in the middle of my singing,
Okay.
but
Let
let
you
me
start.
at least start.
Okay, we're back. You got pause. Everyone, you got pause.
Okay, we're trying this again.
Yeah.
Listen to these words.
No.
Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Bring it down hard.